Howdy y'all, I'm Tim. Welcome to the Mr. Maple Show.
I'm Matt at Mr. Maple, and we're back at it like some plant addicts. We got some cool plants for you today. 3 Stewardias you should be growing in your garden.
Stewardia is an amazing plant. It's closely related to a camellia, but it's so different. Pseudo-camellia, wow. I mean, it's got a false camellia, it's got blooms like a camellia, it's got bark like a crepe myrtle almost, and then it's got fall color like a Japanese maple. I mean, it's everything you want.
We do some really interesting versions of Stewardia here at our nursery. We just wanted to get 3 on camera today and talk to you about them. These are some of our favorites. We could probably do a whole video just on Stewardia cultivars. We actually love cultivars of Stewardia. We're going to do 2 cultivars and a species today. And if you like Stewardia content, let us know in the comment section below. We can keep going with Stewardias. We do a ton of interesting ones, and we love this plant. If you can't tell, this is one we get really fired up about here at Mr. Maple.
I fell in love with Stewardias at the Morris Arboretum. Matt and I were running around looking at plants in fall color, running from maple to maple. And we thought it was a Japanese maple in the distance. We see this bright orange red fall color, and we get up and the bark is amazing. And we checked the tag and it was a Stewardia pseudocamellia. I mean, Stewardias have some amazing fall color. It's the trifecta of great fall color, good bark interest, and it blooms. I mean, what more could you ask for than what Stewardias provide out there in the landscape and garden?
Yeah, and these are a little bit more outside the box selections that can give you something a little bit more than your standard Stewardia pseudocamellia. So let's start down here with the species. We're going to talk about all 3 of these. We're going to start out with Stewardia monadelpha.
Now, all Stewardias, you want to make sure you give good drainage when planting, and they really like to have some organic matter when you plant as well. Stewardia monadelpha is known as the orange bark Stewardia, and it gets some nice browns and oranges with exfoliation on the bark as this tree ages.
I've actually seen some bonsais done of this before. Really cool plant for that crepe myrtle-like bark. You're going to get some awesome bark interest, but also the blooms and the fall colors. These can have a plethora of fall colors too. They're a little bit different than your standard pseudocamellia. I've seen some oranges in here as well as some reds.
And Stewardia monadelpha, the straight species, is one of those plants that we like quite a bit here at our nursery. The bark is just outstanding. We saw some really beautiful specimens of these at Chanticleer Gardens in Philadelphia. I mean, this plant here is just outstanding with some really nice white blooms and that orange-red bark.
Hey, and top secret, we are working on a weeping form of this. So maybe in the works, probably a couple years out on that, but we are working on a weeping form of this as well.
Next up, we have Stewardia pseudocamellia ballet.
Now, a lot of y'all might not know this, but Tim's actually an excellent dancer. He takes a lot of dance classes, and I think he should demonstrate some ballet moves for us.
Ballet is a selection from Pilot Hill Arboretum, and they made this selection. It's really unique for Stewardia pseudocamellias because the blooms on this one can be between 2 and 4 inches in width. So it really has a really nice white bloom, and sometimes will have a little bit of a pink blush on part of it.
Excellent large flowers. I mean, that's really what sets the ballet apart. It's a very elegant, large bloom. Great grower too. Again, this one's gonna work zone 6 through 8. Paramount amongst that is good drainage. You wanna protect it from some hot afternoon sun, sometimes in zone 8, if it's a really hot, humid zone 8, but it's an excellent plant zone 6 through 8. Good drainage is key and excellent fall colors. This one typically has more of a dark red fall color for us from what I've seen, but it can vary a little from season to season.
And the bark on Stewardia pseudocamellia is quite nice too. It'll have grays, browns, cinnamons, all exfoliating. And it really gives some really nice winter interest on that with that blooming effect. Amazing plant.
So next up on the table, but certainly not least on our list of 3 Stewardias you should be growing is Stewardia pseudocamellia pewter.
This is a selection of Stewardia pseudocamellia that not only gives you the fall color, the bark interest, the bloom interest, but this one also gives you some really nice pewter. That's that silver blue color on the foliage.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one's probably my favorite Stewardia pseudocamellia. It's outside the box. This one has a silvery sheen over every single leaf that gives it that glossy, almost blue-like appearance in the landscape. Still has the bright white flowers, still has excellent red fall color, and excellent bark interest. This is one I have a 12-foot specimen of in my garden. It's one of my favorite outside the box plants. It definitely is something that I think is next level for a Stewardia pseudocamellia.
I like it because if you're just a foliage person, you can enjoy it. If you're a bloom person, you can enjoy it. If you're winter interest, it's got something for every season.
The foliage almost doesn't look real. We try to get some shots of it, especially in the early spring. It is a hard one to photograph, but it has a glossy blue sheen over every single leaf, and you kind of get a little bit of the etching throughout the leaf in that. Excellent color pattern. Really nice bold red in the fall too, but I think when you get a specimen of this that's fully flowering with that blue foliage and that bright white flower, it's really something to behold.
I've even seen some really nice orange-red fall color on that. Amazing plant. We love Stewartia pseudocamellia. We hope you do too. These are just 3 different types of Stewartia that you should be growing in your garden because they got the full package. I mean, from bark interest, blooming, and then you've got some good fall color as well.
Hey, thanks so much for subscribing. Like, subscribe, and share. Definitely subscribe. If you see these videos and you enjoy them, sign up for our weekly emails on Mr. Maple. We're always adding new things. And if you see something that you want here, it may be coming to a Fun Flower Friday or 10 at 10 near you. And wow, that's some cold rain.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.